Hardy dudes and dudettes, welcome back to the Hot Damn Racing Team. If you're new here, welcome. All right, we're gonna check out Dirty Bird today. So much dirt and dust everywhere. All right, it's been raining, windy, and all that stuff, and I kind of live in the desert, so you know, dirt just gets everywhere. You can't do nothing about it. I got a detailer that usually comes out and cleans her up, all right, but I haven't made that phone call because I didn't want to spend the money right now, but it's all right if it's dirty. All right, so how much crank horsepower does this truck produce? All right, this is what this video is all about. Now, I never put the engine on an engine dyno, but this truck has been on a chassis dyno, and it makes 922 horsepower to the wheels. All right, so we can make a couple estimates. All right, look at all these. Ooh, Dirty Bird. Get some. I like it when she's a little dirty sometimes. Okay, so, all right, crank horsepower. All right, let's just say we were going to give a factory horsepower estimation. You know how like the factory likes to say, hey, you know, this car makes 400 horsepower. Well, that's to the crank. All right, so how much horsepower does this truck make to the crank? Let me take this dust cover off. Look at all the dust back there. I didn't do a very good job with the dust cover. I need to bring my dust cover all the way back. All right, crank horsepower. All right, if we estimate in between the 10 and 20% range, all right, saying, you know, let's say that 10% you got the best powertrain and 20% you got the worst. I think I got the worst having a 65 RFE transmission. All right, it is a built transmission. Okay, so this truck made 922 horsepower to the wheels on the dyno. So I would say at a 10% power loss, we're looking at 1,015 horsepower to the crank. About, you know, it's probably more like 114-ish horsepower to the crank. I think that's how that works out. All right, 20%, that's more what we're looking at here with this truck, with the transmission. All right, 20% power loss to the drivetrain, okay, to the rear diff, to the wheels. All right, we're looking at 1,100 horsepower to the crank. That's how much horsepower this motor produces, you know, estimated, okay? Estimated, it's probably pretty true. It's in between 1,000 horsepower and 1,100 horsepower, okay? It could even, you know, it could even be more than 20% powertrain loss, all right, with the transmission that I have, but I don't know that for a fact, so I'm just gonna use the average of 10 to 20%. So this motor is making over 1,000 horsepower to the crank. All right, pretty cool. It's a E85. It's a built motor. Okay, it's built for boost. We're running 18 PSI, and it has a Tomahawk 2.0 camshaft, and it is tuned by Hemi Tuning, and it was ultimately built. Okay, I designed the whole turbo system and initially built the whole turbo system, okay, on this truck, but I'm gonna have to give all the credit to Byrne Automotive and Performance. All right, pretty cool deal. And they text me a lot. They were like, hey, you know that your engine is making over 1,000 horsepower to the crank, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, you know, but thinking about it, that is actually pretty damn cool, man. 1,000 horsepower sitting right here. Over 1,000. Pretty cool deal. Byrne Automotive and Performance. I'm giving them all the credit. You know, I've been working on this truck for years, but dude, this is great. All right, Hemi Tuning. Yeah, you got to have a good tuner to make it happen. Pretty cool deal. Flying Ryan Performance. All their parts, man. Pistons, rods, camshaft, everything. Pretty cool deal. Yeah. Really enjoyable truck. Really cool. I think it's the only truck in the entire country with a 65 RFE transmission that has dyno 922 horsepower to the wheels. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's the only Fortune, and I'm talking Fortune Ram 1500 trucks with a 65 RFE transmission that has an engine producing over 1,000 horsepower. Pretty cool. I mean, it is turbocharged. All right, we got the cams, we got the built motor, we got the turbocharger. It is a 5.7. Okay, so pretty cool deal. 1,000 horsepower. That's pretty cool, man. You know, makes me feel comfortable. Makes me feel like there's not that much I have to do with it anymore. I got there. I made it. Yeah. Now I just got to keep it all in one piece. And it'll be great. All right, it is. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hot damn you, hell yeah, you're the baddest. Get some.